I don't know if you've seen the new sweet variety, which is on the market now in Germany. The new Milchbubis.
What's up with the Milchbubi?
Milk boobies.
Boobies?
Yes.
Oh, boobies.
Milk boobies. I suspect that this is a failure on the marketing front from this company, because they've essentially made a sweet which in English says milky breasts.
Ah, but wait, boobies with U, with a B,
Yes.
U, B. Whoa,
Yes.
But you know, that's the kind of means like a young boy boobie in German.
That doesn't sound much better to me. So now we're talking about young men's breasts.
No, young men made out of milk, which totally makes sense. What do you think about the food?
Well, I think the food is very good here, as long as you only like around 2 different things. So if you like meat with something else, you're fine. If you like a little bit more variety in the taste, then sometimes you can have some problems. So I find German food a little bit like sort of a Burger King when you're really hungry. You know, you're walking along the street and you're really hungry, and then oh, Burger King, brilliant, really, a nice big fat burger. But then sort of about 2/3 of the way through the burger, you just sort of think, kind of just seems to taste exactly the same. You know, every bite is a repetition of the last one.
Oh, yeah.
And by the end of it, you're just feeling kind of slightly, it just feels like I've filled my stomach up, but I haven't really experienced much in the process. I like the German food, but maybe only in moderation. And one thing I would say is you can see how much German people like German food by the fact that there are so few German restaurants left in Nuremberg. In England, you know, cheeses tend to be sort of more hard cheese based. In Germany, it's strange because most cheeses I've found are relatively inoffensive. However, a couple of weeks ago I found a cheese which I'm pretty sure is equal in power to a sort of small nuclear weapon. I have this cheese, and it's actually in a Tupperware container on my balcony behind the double glazed door, and I can still smell it in my kitchen. The smell from this cheese can actually permeate 2 layers of plastic and a double glazed window. Now, that is powerful cheese. I personally find that sort of anything where there's government involvement in Germany means it is a little bit like the Dark Ages in many respects. Anything which is free enterprise and private business, such as a bar, is completely liberal. So in the UK, very highly regulated bar opening hours. You know, you have to apply for licences, and you have to have 25 bouncers on the
25.
door. Well, believe me, if you come from Portsmouth, that's that's not enough. You have very highly regulated bars. Whereas in Germany, nothing like that at all. Glass outside, open till all hours, no real major noise regulations, anything like that. Nightclubs open till 5 AM, 1 bouncer on the door, that's it. Maybe it's also because people can behave themselves here.
I have the feeling that Germans, and don't get me wrong there, you know, it's just like when Germans are drunk, they are not automatically like aggressive. In the UK, so again, not everyone, but don't get me wrong, but I often had the feeling like all these bouncers were there for a reason.
Are you saying that British people are aggressive?
No, British people are maybe drunk.
Are you saying that British people are aggressive?
No, not you. No, you're not drunk. You had a tea now. Okay, so not all the English bars. Okay, let's get this right. No. But especially like these bars where like heavy drinking is like standard. You know, you go there, you know people are gonna be drinking, and you probably know there's gonna be a fight.
Yes.
Okay, but that was Brighton and West Street.
Well,
so.
I mean that's understandable because somebody had probably looked at somebody else.
Yes. So you can't look at somebody else.
Yeah, but I mean that's going to end up in a fight. You know. Are you looking at me? Yeah,
Yes,
what's it to you?
Yeah, no.
Bang. Other good things, the price of beer, incredibly cheap, incredibly cheap. You know, which so you have a strange dichotomy there, don't you, between the fact that you know people are better behaved here when they drink more, less well behaved in the UK. Yet here it's much cheaper to actually get roaring drunk than it is in the UK, which is a strange one. So you'd imagine here because it's cheaper, people will be even more drunk. But actually they're not most of the time. But what I would say here is that you can take kind of €20. You can go out, you can have a little bit of dinner, you can have 3 or 4 beers, and you can go home without having remortgaged your house, which is quite a nice feeling, I must admit.
Do you find other English people in Nuremberg?
There are many English people.
They're more
here
Spanish,
in Nuremberg, and you can see them quite clearly because they all hang around with each other. It's a very traditional trait of the British expat, in that we send our finest around the world, and they do their best not to integrate. When you go to the Costa del Sol or to Spain or something like that, you'll see all these English people, and they're walking past them. What's this tapas stuff? And then, oh, look at that! Oh, look at that! Oh, sausage, chips, beans, egg, bacon, lovely, lovely. They're searching out traditional food, Sunday roast. And let's be honest, there's nothing like a good Sunday roast in 40 degrees centigrade. And you find a very peaceful countryside. So I like the countryside as well. I mean, as I said earlier, there's actually nobody else there, which is probably why it is so peaceful. But it is very nice. And even the farmers in Germany seem quite friendly.
What do you mean, even the farmers?
What
about the farmers in England?
Well, they're not friendly generally. You cycle along a sort of farm track in England, and you'll have some farmer chasing you after you with a large pitchfork saying, "Get off my land." But in Germany, you cycling along and you see a 95-year-old farmer, which is about the average age, I think. For
and he asks you, "Do you want to join for lunch?"
And yes, you get a nice, you get a nod of approval, a hello, how are you doing, sort of look. And it seems like a very nice existence in the countryside.
So, I think one thing we have to talk about, German Autobahn.
Yes.
So, is it so different to the English Autobahn because it's like this mystical German Autobahn?
I'd say the German Autobahn is a little bit different, yes. I think, you fit in fine on the German Autobahn as long as you regard your accelerator as kind of a switch. In other words, it's either on or off. Yeah. And if it's on, it means your foot is flat on the floor. Yeah. And if it's off, it means you're stopped. But don't whatever you do, go in the fast lane, because that's I've only had 1 or 2 near-death experiences. One was in gangland Chicago, and the other one was when I moved into the fast lane in the path of a large Mercedes.
You're right. That's one thing. That's one of the laws of the German Autobahn that I keep in mind. Is like, it doesn't matter how fast you are. There's always going to be someone faster than you in the rear mirror.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
that's kind of a nice thing, because you do have this feeling in the UK that as long as you're you might be driving at 80 miles an hour, but if there's someone driving faster than you, it's okay because they're going to get caught. But in ahead of you, whereas in Germany, there's no end to it, which is again, it's another strange sort of dichotomy between the highly regulated society and the complete lack of regulation on the Autobahn. The big problem I've found, however, is the other great love of the Germans, which is obviously to every summer, pack up their car with around 15 bicycles, 6 children, and a caravan. And head off to the countryside. And unfortunately, heavily laden car plus caravan does not mix well with 6-litre Mercedes in the fast lane. And this is one of the big problems I've found. Although having said that, if you are driving excessively fast, then a caravan does provide a very good crumple zone if you happen to have a small mishap.